The man lived in the shadows, but his name moved through cities like a warning. People said he never raised his voice, because he never had to. He walked with a calm that made even criminals step aside. Not because they feared pain, but because they feared disrespecting the one person who always finished what he started. In every corner of the underworld, one rule remained untouched. Never play with the man who plays by his own rules. The man was never seen on billboards or news reports, but everyone in the dark corners of the city knew his name. When people had problems too dangerous to speak out loud, they hired him. No threats. No second chances. He accepted only the missions he knew he could finish, and he always finished. Every job ended with silence, every client walked away satisfied, and every target simply disappeared from the story. Because when the man took a contract, failure didn't exist. The man had become more than a ghost, he was a legend the FBI couldn't erase. For years, they chased him across borders, tracing whispers, blurry camera footage, and a trail of unsolved cases that all pointed to one figure. But every time they closed in, he was already gone, as if he knew their plans before they did. Agents tapped phones, monitored airports, and planted undercover teams, yet he slipped through every net with a quiet, calculated ease. Sometimes he left clues on purpose, just to watch them scramble. A shut-down elevator right after he stepped off. A camera mysteriously looping footage. A tip that led them to an empty warehouse with nothing but a single message on the wall: try harder. The FBI called him arrogant. But in truth, he was simply untouchable. He didn't run from them, he played with them. Turned their operations into puzzles he solved for fun. And every escape made him a little quieter, a little smarter, a little more impossible to catch. The man had taken countless contracts, but none as strange as the one delivered by a quiet lady in a black coat. She sat across from him, hands shaking, and slid a sealed envelope across the table. Inside, no photo, no name, just a note: the mystery boy. Find him before he finds me. He didn't ask questions. He never did. But something about her fear told him this job wasn't like the others. No location, no background, only a warning. He looks harmless. The man sat alone in his dim apartment, the lady's message echoing in his mind. A mystery boy, no name, no face. It felt less like a contract and more like a warning. He'd handled dangerous people before, but this one felt different. He placed the note on the table and stared at it, thinking. If he was going after someone unknown, he had to be ready for anything. Slowly, he opened his steel case, checking every tool, every disguise, every escape plan he'd perfected over the years. He wasn't rushing. He never rushed. Preparation was the reason he survived where others failed. When he finally zipped up his jacket and stepped into the night, his decision was made. The man was ready, and the mission had officially begun. The man knew that before he stepped into the unknown, he had to visit the only place that kept him human: home. That evening, he walked through his front door slower than usual, letting the warmth of his family wash over him. His daughter ran to him first, wrapping her arms around his waist. His son looked up from the couch and smiled, unaware of the storm waiting outside their world. He sat with them, pretending for a moment that life was simple. They ate together, laughed at small jokes, and he memorized every sound, every smile, like he was storing them for a long journey ahead. Later, when the kids had gone to bed, he stepped onto the balcony with his wife. She studied his face, already reading the truth in his eyes before he said a word. "It's another mission, isn't it?" she whispered. He nodded. "Could be a long one. I don't know how dangerous. But I need you to trust me. I'll come back." She placed her hand on his chest, feeling the steady heartbeat of a man who carried too many secrets. "I just want you to return safe," she said softly. For a moment, he let himself be vulnerable, something he never allowed. The man left home before sunrise, the world still quiet, as if it sensed the weight of what he was walking into. The contract on the mystery boy had led him through abandoned streets, coded messages, and paths only someone like him could follow. He moved with purpose, steady, silent, unshaken, because that's how he had survived every mission before. Hours passed. Clues grew stranger. Every step felt like someone was guiding him or testing him. He finally reached an old building on the edge of the city, the only place the trail ended. Inside, there were signs of someone who expected him: open windows, footprints, a chair turned slightly as if someone had been watching the door. He whispered, "So, you knew I'd come?" But no answer came back. The man went deeper into the darkness, following the soft hum of a generator below. Then, silence. Not a crash. Not a struggle. Just silence, as if the building swallowed him whole. When he didn't return home that night, his wife waited by the phone. When morning came, the FBI realized their most